So, without further ado, let's get started with the show. And I want to talk to you about some true stories. And normally I get them out of the Conceal a Handgun magazine or the American Rifleman, but I've had a couple of my own. And now let me make something very clear. Perception of threat. I always talk about perception of threat. You perceive things in a certain way. It may not end up being that way, but at the moment, if you perceive it that way, it is that way. So I'll give you an example. Although these two incidents I'm going to tell you about were not real in the conclusion of the matter, they were real to me at the moment of them happening. So let me tell you story number one here. Story number one is very simple, basically. Being the person who I am, trying to be prepared all the time, honing my senses, learning my skills, practicing, so on and so forth. When I go to bed at night, I go to sleep in a very extremely relaxed, comfortable manner, if you can figure that one out, okay? But in the process of going to sleep in that extremely comfortable manner, I'm sure to have things ready for my defense, God forbid the time ever came I had to use it. Well, while sleeping, something, my ear, when you're in the military, all you grunts out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. But when you're going to sleep, you got one eye open and you got your ears open. You hear a twig snap, that eye opens up, or it's already open and it's scanning, it's listening, it's just not right. Well, as I'm in bed sleeping, I hear this weird noise, and I'm attuned to what kind of noise it is because I'm aware of the noises that my house makes, creaks, cracks, whatever it may be. So I'm hearing this kind of metallic spring-like noise, and my head registers it as the doorknob being pulled down in a downward direction to open up the lock. And you hear that little spring in there, and it keeps going back and forth. And then all of a sudden, the handle snaps back up with a little twang, and I go, oh my gosh, I know which door handle that is, I know where it's coming from, and I know the house is secure, and I know nobody else is in it. And I go, well, we're having a breach. So with that, I get out of bed, acquire my firearm, and start tactically moving down the hallway in the buff. Now you can just picture that. That's going to look really good. Come to find out, it's the cat in the room pawing at the door handle making this noise. But at the time, not thinking about the cat, thinking about somebody trying to open the doorknob, because how many cats know how to open up a doorknob? And so I'm thinking I know, try to see the videos. There's a whole bunch of cats that know how to do it. But at that time, I'm thinking to myself, wow, there's somebody trying to get in the house. So I'm going down there, maneuvering appropriately, come to find out it's the cat. But the reason I tell this story is, one, it's funny. And two, I was applying all my techniques of listening, paying attention, knowing my house, going down the hallway, turning corners, the whole works. Okay, so that's story number one. Story number two is a little bit more aggressive. It's almost the same scenario. I'm in bed, the ears are open, one eye's half open, paying attention. My eldest son, had surgery done to him when he was a little child. And they opened up his chest, they took care of some things there. And when he got home, he was given a gift of balloons, about probably 5 helium balloons on a long tether attached to a lead weight that we had in the master room, the grand room, the vaulted ceiling room. And we've got 2 large ceiling fans, and the balloons are floating there. Well, I'm in bed sleeping comfortably, and all of a sudden, I hear this boom, 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 boom noise. I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody's breaking in the house. And of course, I've got the handgun at the ready. I sit right up in bed. I'm like, whoa, get out of bed, grab the gun. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's somebody in this house. And I'm going down the hallway. And as I get down to the end of the hallway, the carpet's about to end, the tile comes up, and I hear that big, loud, booming noise again. And I directly point the weapon up towards the ceiling. The helium balloons had come loose from their tether, the lead weight. And the balloons went into the fan. The fan hit it and made this awful noise. It sounded like somebody was breaking in. Now, I thought it was funny after it was done, but at the moment it was freaking me out because it was live. In my perception, it was live. The thing is, on both instances, I fell back on my training. So I want to reemphasize how important it is to make sure you're trained in your mind, your body, your equipment, all those factors. Know your house, know yourself, know where your people are, know how to use your weapon, how to turn your corners, be alert as much as possible. And so if anything like that happens or ends up being real, you can be victorious in that situation. So those are a couple stories. If you got something that's funny like that, give us a call. You're 697-6633. Let us know what it is. Funny, serious, whatever it may be. And we'll put you on the air and hear what you got to say.